Today we're gonna find out how much whipped cream is actually in a can of whipped cream. Welcome back to Unsupervised. Earlier I went to the store to pick up a couple types of whipped cream, and as you can see there's a bunch of different kinds. I just picked up one of each kind. The Reddi-Whip, which is our original, being our constant, and then there's the extra creamy one and the fat-free one, and a random almond milk one. The plan here is to see how much are in these cans and also to see if there's a difference between the different types. The plan is simple. I'm going to extrude all these cans into these cups and see if we're getting our money's worth. The first two I want to try is the extra creamy whipped cream and the light whipped cream. Is the fat-free one actually lighter? Let's find out. I'm just going to give these a good shake and we'll put on the timer on the screen and see how long it takes to empty a can. It kind of felt like there's more air than cream coming out.
That's all that's in a can.
Ooh, let me have some of that Cool Whip. What'd you say?
Weirdly, the fat-free one seems heavier than the extra creamy one, but we'll weigh these in a bit. Let's empty the original one. You know what's funny? The air condensed inside these cans is actually nitrous oxide, or laughing gas, and it's the same stuff they use for race cars to give them that extra boost. We just about reached the end of this can, and I'd say it's pretty disappointing. There seems to be less in here than I previously thought. I'd usually eat whipped cream with some jello or the occasional pie, but I never really noticed how much I was using. And let's do the almond one real quick. Here are all the whipped cream amounts respectively to their own cans, and now let's see if they actually correspond to the amount promised on the label. I'm just gonna tar the weight of the cup real quick. The first one is the extra creamy whipped cream, and we have a total of 169 grams.
What is that? 169.
The almond milk one is 151 grams, the original one is 166, and 174 for the fat-free one.
174.
There's still a lot of air in these, so I'm gonna pop these in a microwave real quick and see if we can see a difference. After microwaving for a couple minutes, it's still kind of foaming, but you can better see the volume of each. There isn't a lot, as you can see. On the back of the label, it says that it has 37 servings at 5 grams a serving, so we're looking at a promised amount of 185 grams. And it kind of says the same on all of these, which I guess if we round it up is approximately what we got as well. But I'm gonna cut these open a bit and to see if we're missing some cream. Give me 1 second. If we compare it to something like heavy whipping cream, I think it would be more worth your money to whip your own cream. Just take a look at this. I poured out the same amount, and for the same price, we get much more cream. And on top of that, air is free. There is one difference though. The stuff you whip yourself is heavier in milk fat content at around 36% milk fat than the whipping cream canisters, which is around 30%. And the heavier the cream, the better the whipped cream will hold its shape. So depending on the recipe, you want to kind of gauge how hard you want your whipped cream. If you want to increase that to 100%, you're basically getting butter. And also don't eat the almond milk one, that it just tastes off. I wouldn't recommend it. So let's get to opening the can. I was kind of scared at first that it would explode, so I got a Ziploc bag so it could more or less catch the shrapnel if it does explode, or at the very least the remaining cream. And took a can opener to the bottom of the whipped cream can, and surprisingly, it didn't explode. And that's what the inside of it looks like. It seems like the rest of the 16 grams are in there. Now that you know how much whipped cream is actually in a can, I'm gonna go find a way to eat all this whipped cream.